You're in a shop today with Walter. I've been working a little bit on my lights, trying to get them working and going again. I got this 12-volt regulated power supply that I used to use to run a CB base station. It's got a nice big transformer in it. I'm pretty sure one of these capacitors is bad because it ain't working. Not being a electronic whiz, ain't got the parts or the smarts to fix it. But I just about bet it's quite repairable. All you got is a transformer, on-off switch, a reset switch, connector for 12 volts outlet. I'll take it somewhere and get somebody to show me how to fix it. Got a little LED on here. I took the cover off some time back and was going to work on it and realized I can't fix it. But today we're probably going to put it back under the workbench for another 20 years because I got another idea. I'm going to go out here to this bench and paint my locomotive. I started spraying the house last night with too many paint fumes. I am sick and tired of rain. Hopefully it'll stop long enough for me to get some paint on this booger bear. I'll paint the bottom later, since I'm not going to be able to touch it once I start spraying. I'm just going to paint it black today, and we'll touch it up with a little white. Maybe make it look a little bit like the Norfolk Southern switch engine. Well, you know what? I better go get me some rubber gloves or I'll be cleaning paint off my hand for a week. Hey, buddy, where'd you go? That dog's been hanging around here quite a bit. Don't jump on me. Your toenails hurt. It's going to take several coats. It ain't nothing to eat. You go on. I sanded the top just a little bit last night. Don't want to mess around and get runs in it. Why are you eating grass, dog? You're not a cow. I've always heard maybe that means they're having stomach problems. He's been eating good enough here lately. Here in my shop, I basically just tinker a bit on various random projects. I really don't stick to one particular subject or skill. I am a retired railway carman with a lifetime of experiences and some mechanical skills, so I can say I know just enough to get by. I do not consider myself an expert at much, so I am not really a teacher of any of my skills or all my trades and abilities. But if in the process of making my many videos here on YouTube, I can learn you a thing or two, then that's all the better. I might add I am likely to occasionally express my opinions on various topics. You may or may not agree with some of my opinions, but here in America we pride ourselves in the freedom to express our opinions. I feel as a veteran and a person of many years here on this planet, I've earned the right to express myself. So today I'm likely to do just that on a few subjects. I, like many others here on YouTube, watch people's YouTube channels for the enjoyment of listening to and occasionally learning something from them and deriving some entertainment from watching them. On these rainy stay-in-the-house days and evenings when I'm not making a YouTube video or working on my computer, you can bet I'm streaming YouTube to catch up on my fellow YouTubers' videos. Every once in a while I tune in to some guy's channel who basically just irks me no end. To be honest, some might say I irk them as well, but que sera, that's so be it. I respect their right to say so. There are some great channels here on YouTube. Many are producing videos well worth your time and efforts to watch them. Now, on some of my opinions. I just watched a guy's video who irked me no end. Some young guy, obviously born with more money than brains. He basically pointed out all his fine equipment in his shop. He had tools galore all over the shop, all on display and obviously shiny and new and most likely unused. He was bragging about his laser-guided saws and computer drive drill presses and other computerized equipment. He struck me as a person who, if his life depended on it, couldn't drive a nail straight or saw a board in half if he had to. A person who skipped all the basic skills to do things with hand tools. I can see no chance of feeling a sense of accomplishment in creating or building something if you had to use a computer-operated machine to create it. He may know his computers and fancy equipment, which most likely cost thousands of dollars, that most of us normal people out there could never afford because we spent our money supporting our family and raising our family. I can derive no entertainment on listening to him brag and show off his stuff. The fact is, he probably wouldn't know the difference between a rip saw and a crosscut saw. Wouldn't know the difference between a block plane and a jack plane. You gotta learn the basics. They cannot be skipped. I'm not advocating just using hand tools because these days we cannot get stuff done without our power tools. If you can get those computerized tools, that's fine too. But don't overlook your basic skills when it comes to doing things. Here's just one example. I see many young people out there creating and involving projects with welding stuff, for example. Some idiot with a high-dollar welding machine, and it's so obvious he couldn't weld if he wanted to. He never learned to weld. If you can strike an arc and keep it going long enough to lay a smooth welding bead from beginning to end, then it's my opinion you're probably welding. But if I see you constantly striking arc after arc just to lay a bead, you're just making gobs of bubblegum looking beads and doing poorly in connecting your metal. Learn the basic skills and you will be a welder for life. So that's basically my topic today is don't overlook the basic skills when it comes to tools and creating things. Just a bit of my expressing my opinions today. My George is kind of high in a tree, but it's hanging there. It's paint it. Which way is the wind blowing? Well, I'm in the process of painting my locomotive. I got a little bit on there. Let's go back and put some more coats here in a minute. Back in the workbench, tinkering a little bit. I ordered a flasher for my lights on Amazon. One of my viewers sent me a nice link to one you can order from Model Trains. It was a little more expensive and probably not quite what I was looking for. I'm going to try a flasher that I ordered on Amazon, used for strobe lights in a car. If it don't work, I'm not out. I'm out less than $20. But we'll try that when it comes in the mail. In the meantime, I went out to the garage. I don't know if I mentioned the other day or not. This transformer here blowed out when I was flashing my lights the other day. So I've disconnected the wires, and I brought in this old battery charger from the garage. It's a very old one. 6 and 12 volts. You can't even buy a 6-volt car battery nowadays. Oh, put your glasses on, Walter. Where'd I put them? I guess that's him. It is a Sears battery charger. We're going to put the multimeter on here and make sure it's work. It's on 12 volts. If it ain't all clogged up with spider webs, I don't know. Let's plug it in and see. What's the worst we could do? Trip a fuse? Sure those are not touching each other. They're rusted. I'm gonna have to clean them up. Okay, it's plugged in. Where's my wire? Here's the wire. Let's see, we'll say that's positive. I don't know. I'm not getting anything. Oh, there we go. It was just rusted. I've got 12 volts. Them lights light up good. That was getting just a little hot on my finger, though. Okay, we know the voltmeter, the battery charger works. That was more simple than using the multimeter. That dog was walking up and down the driveway unless somebody just drove up. Okay, volts DC. We're on 50 volts DC. I'm about to sand these connections or do something to make them connect better. I might just put a switch panel down here from my lights if I use this charger. Here we go. Okay, it's working. Yeah, it's just rusty connectors. I might do that project one day, but this here is a viable means of getting 12 volts to my light system. In the meantime, if I have a lawnmower battery or something that needs charge, I can tote it down here and charge it too. Yeah, them cable clamps are sure corroded. But my lights work, so I know there's nothing wrong with them. This battery charger I know is 40 years old. I wonder if it's got a build date on it. Spent most of its life sitting on a shelf not being used. The transformer in it's probably corroded all the heck or rusted. Okay, I mentioned earlier that I wanted to use this to charge batteries with as well. So rather than change anything on these battery leads, rather than change anything on this clamps, there, get untangled. Instead of doing that, I'm considering going inside the case and finding a place in there to hook up 2 smaller wires for my lights and just have an outlet I can plug into to get 12 volts on the side for my lights. That leaves these free to charge a battery with without having to alternate them. I could even unplug my lights and take this battery charger out to the lawnmower or whatever. That would be my best option. We need a connector mounted in there to get 12 volts. I'm sure it can be done. So that's a project in the future. A couple of days my flasher will be here from Amazon. And if it don't work, I'm just out a few dollars. How many of you still have a Sears battery charger? See if it's got a model number. We'll look it up on the computer. Oh yeah, here we go. 608.71515. Let's write that down. Six oh eight dot 71515. That was the number, wasn't it? 71515, yeah. Over the years, I developed an ability to retain a rather long number in my head, simply by inspecting trains. A lot of times you're watching a train go by, your head is moving like this, and you're watching it go by. So you see a train car go by with a defect or something that needs to be reported. Well, you got to read that number as it goes by. It's like 508-271. Then you got to go get out a pencil and write it down and try to remember it long enough to tell somebody, because it don't stick to your memory very good if you don't memorize it quick. And sometimes you wouldn't get it right, but often you get it right. You see, it was about somewhere in the middle of the train. The number was whatever, and spit it out to them. I was going down the road one day in my railroad truck, going to repair a car somewhere, and I watched a train by the crossing. He didn't even know I was watching. When he come by, a brake beam was down and he was dragging it. I called him up. I said, northbound train by Houston Alley, or wherever I was that day. Yeah, go ahead. You need to stop your train. You got a brake beam down and dragging. Who are you? I said, I'm just telling you to stop your train, bud. I ain't got time to carry on a little long conversation. You need to be getting your train stopped. By that time, the dispatcher comes on, one knew who I was, and I told him. But in the meantime, I already had the train stopped. I said, I'll go check it out for you. Y'all just sit tight. And I drove up the tracks and found the car and told them, you're going to have to sit still for a minute or two. I'm going under this train with a cutting torch. They come back there and watch me, and I cut the brake beam down. I said, okay, when you get to a side and set her out. Be sure to chock the wheels good, because it ain't got no handbrake, or set a brake car with it would be the best option. Stuck a bad order tag on it, and I was on my way. I didn't delay that train no more than about 30 minutes.